UK moves on loot boxes protecting gamers. The UK gaming industry is taking significant steps to protect young audiences from the potential pitfalls of loot boxes. Whilst concerns linking loot boxes to the problem of gambling, the industry representing bodies like Yuki have proposed guidelines to ensure a safer, more responsible gaming experience. Gentlemen, so to first things first is a loot box is like it's like a randomized purchase thing, and it always reminds me of fruit machines or one-armed bandits or things like that. And it's easy when you look at it like that to compare it to gambling. They like to compare it to stickers like panini stickers or Kinder eggs or whatever, but with Kinder eggs you get chocolate and a plastic toy to choke on, and that's a joke. And with football cards, you get to keep the football cards for as long as you want because they're physical, and you get a piece of chewing gum, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
And then you can actually, with those cards, you can go meet other people and do a swap, like
Mm,
for either like for like, or go, I'll give you two of these if you have this one for me. And you can actually make good swaps. Can't do that with loot boxes because
no,
they don't let you.
no, they don't. So the potential link to problem gambling, especially among children, of course, countries like Belgium and the Netherlands to consider banning them due to these concerns. I can't remember if Belgium has actually banned loot boxes. We did this story months, a year, almost a year ago.
Years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a weird one. Babster, what are your thoughts on this?
Where are the parents? That's the main one here. These loot boxes, I'm guessing you have to pay for them or pay for points to purchase a loot box. Yeah, is that how it works?
Hmm. But yeah,
So
you buy some coins, some FIFA coins, and then
yeah,
Yeah.
so if you're okay, it's got 18 there, but if you're still at school, where's the money coming from? It's coming from your parents. So this
mm,
is down to parent. This is down to parenting again on what their child is purchasing online because they haven't got their own credit card details. They've got the
mm,
parents. So authorizations need to be done by the parent.
mm, mm.
And you can lock your consoles down to do that, can't you? You can do
Yes.
that. So that's what it's down to. It's down to educating parents on how to lock down their consoles so their children don't get into this kind of loot boxing mess.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they launched a public awareness campaign to set up controls um, by an expert panel for people trying to assure games. Just to note, it's not just children because it's these things are quite aggressive in the way they're put forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are really kind of aggressive, and you get things like I think it was the recent Diablo launch, yeah,
Yeah.
where they broke the interface, so you wound up spending your coins or your in-game currency that you earned on it. So it made it quite, it was quite a broken thing. Nigel, do you want to chime in there, mate?
Well, it's gambling, pure and simple. You don't know the odds either of
Oh, yeah,
you
it's a
don't
good
know the
one.
odds.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely random what you might get. And yes, if you've got a job, you'll just keep going, oh, I need that thing. And you'll keep paying, 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 paying until you finally get that thing. I think if you've paid full price for a game, you should not need to pay more money for the content that's already in the game at release. That is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's gambling
it's
pure and simple. It's pure greed, especially as the odds of getting the things that you need are probably incredibly low for a reason that they want you to spend more money.
mm, yeah,
And who knows if they've actually programmed it in so you won't get the thing want, unless you've bought 20 of them. And on the 20th time, they'll drop you a little carrot where you might get something that's close to the thing. And you go, oh, I'm so close. I'll just get one more go. Exactly like a one-armed bandit jackpot machine.
I'll be honest with you. I find one-armed bandits a bit more bloody honest.
Yeah,
It's how casinos work, though, isn't it?
Hmm.
You'll go to a casino, you'll win, and then you're like, oh, and they want you to carry on.
yeah.
Rather than you win, you walk away.
You win a little thing, and then it's gamble. It made you gamble more.
Do you want to hear the worst thing at casinos is we say like that. I've heard stories of people who've won at the blackjack table, and they've won at the blackjack table, and they, as they're leaving to go and pick up the winnings, they have to fill out like a ton of forms to give them their identity, this, that, and the other, and it's like kind of, oh, what blackjack table did you win at? Oh, that one over there. Oh, right. Do you want to go and play on this one over here? It's like, no, I've won $5,000. I'm going to spend the $5,000 and enjoy myself. But there are like horrible personal stories. There's a guy called David Sporran's story where he managed to get into a significant amount of debt by buying stuff on loot boxes. So yeah, it's not good, not just for children, just for adults too. Because if you get like a vulnerable adult, it can cause issues there. Yeah. So
let's face it, gambling is an addiction. It's an addiction. It's a lucrative business, and it doesn't matter where they put it. It's not a good thing, is it?
No,
it certainly shouldn't be in games that kids can get access to.
No, and if you play the National Lottery here in the UK, and you've got the app, or you play online and you do those scratch card games or the little gambling games that they've got on there, there's a limit of the amount of times that you can play a game or games in a day. There's a limit, so you don't spend too much. This does not.
Yeah,
you can just go and go and go and go and go and go and go. It's dangerous, and that is why it's gambling.
And the annoying thing is you can't even win money.
No, you don't win anything.
You don't even
tangible.
win money, and the thing that you get will expire after like a year until the new one comes out. So it's worse, I think, than gambling. The government have been looking at loot boxes for the last 3 years and thinking about a potential ban. Yeah, urging the industry to regulate themselves. A guy from Future Monitoring, John Whittingdale, Minister for Creative Industries, emphasises the need for the gaming industry to protect players and more closely monitor the implication of these new principles. It's good that someone's looking into it. The downside is government, and that we all know that government takes forever and a bloody day to do anything, which is frustrating. The revenue generated by loot boxes is expected to generate an estimated $16 billion globally for games company. $16 billion through loot boxes. That's almost sickening. Yeah, it's not microtransactions. It's not horse armor. You get horse armor when you buy horse armor. You get loot boxes. You get a chance to get Lionel Messi or to get Cristiano Ronaldo or something along those lines. You don't get that. Keith's not here. So you've got those things. So at the moment, there are vulnerable people. Yeah, there are vulnerable children. There are children and vulnerable people all together. So we've got that. So it is gambling. Full stop. Yeah, I don't think there's two. I think it's worse than gambling. It uses the same mechanics. It asks for money. It tries to reward you, and it uses all the cheap psychological tricks to separate you from your money, which I think is gone. Plus, it also makes the games really shitty. More importantly, because when you put that in there, they rebalance the game in favor of loot boxes. Remember when Star Wars came out, and it's like kind of you'd have to pay for like 60 hours to get Darth Vader or something, even though you've already spent $60 bloody on the game.
Yep,
it's crap. It needs to go.
The only way
for a wrap up on this one.
The only way it's going to go is if consumers do not pay for them and they walk with their wallets, because the governments aren't going to do anything about it.
Not with that amount of revenue, no.
Yeah, 16 billion does a lot to people. So the UK gaming industry is at crossroads, needing to ensure players' safety without stifling innovation or economic growth. The new guidelines represent a significant step towards a more responsible gaming future, but the journey is far from over. As the debate continues, as it's crucial for players, industry leaders, regulators to work together for the betterment of the gaming community. Sort your shit out.
Just make good games, make sure they work before you release them, and we'll all be happy.